says to Harker Bay, Toronto Johnson, I call for a Moorish court on brother Toronto Johnson and anybody who's riding with him with this scandal with these videos of me and my wife frauding the people.
Check it.
I never saw my brothers and sisters serving these packages when I was with Daweed Ali and them and Taj and them used to come to Chicago.
I laid them old boys to rest. They was dead sleep anyway. Sleepwalking, they keep talking. I probably catch a charge and don't care what any say. Yeah, I'm the people's grand sheik, and the people's grand sheik ain't seen a man I can't beat. Only the gods is my equal. You mortals, you just my sequel. You just my sequel. What the 85ers? Dip divers? Trying to symbolize us? You already dead. Who done got up in your head? Rent free. You wanna know who sent me? Who sent you? Leg, head. I tried to pull you out the bed, but you got up all groggy. Started talking real crazy, eyes foggy. Couldn't see through the fog. Then I had to bring the dogs, barking all up in your ear, acting like you don't care. Oh, you don't care? Like you don't preserve life. Oh yeah, and you really don't care, right? Oh, you don't care, right? Well, we gon' really check that, bet that, respect that. Since you said you ain't scared to die, I laid them young boys to rest. They was dead sleep anyway. I laid them old boys to rest. They was sleepwalking anyway. I'm the people's grand sheik. I ain't seen a man I can't beat. I laid them young boys to rest. They was sleepwalking anyway. I would take you on any day. Michigan, New York, Cali, where you at? What you thought? From that town to Baltimore, every vulnerable is all raw. They ready, choppers. I don't really think you want the problem. Hold up, raise the thought up. Back to a law, leg, head. I try to get him out the bed, sleepwalking anyway. Sleepwalking anyway. Wake up, keep talking. Sleepwalking anyway. Wake up, I don't care what any say. Nobody. I'm the people's grand sheik, and the people's grand sheik. I ain't seen a man I can't beat. Never. You mortals, you just my sequel. You mortals, you just my sequel. Only equals is the gods. You mortals, that's my sequel. I see dead people. Hey. I see dead people. I lay them old boys to rest. They was dead sleep anyway.
I never saw my brothers and sisters serving these packages when I was with Daweed.
I lay them young boys to rest. They was dead sleep anyway. Hey, people strange. I ain't never met a man that I can't beat. Oh.
In the hood and it look good now, don't it? With a vengeance. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Check 1, 2. Let's own it. Put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Man, I love this. Y'all ready? Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. I'm ready. 1, 2. Yeah. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Check it. We gonna get this right. One take. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own corona, you can be a god that's own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own corona, you can be a god that's own it. I used to rock with these temples and the moors the long way, but they all are super fraud and they not getting the way they want me to keep it quiet. Who I tell it to their face? I'm flipping over tables on my way to the 8. The Harker Bay said it, now it's time for me to prove it. Got the same address and I ain't planning on moving. The internet got these dope fiends acting around with Dirty Frankie and some mess that he know he can't handle. When I pull up and I pull out on 1, 2 5. Don't be telling me you 60 when I let that thing rip. Open hand or closed fist. Put your veneers on the curb, put your chin on the back of your neck, and that's my word. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, let's own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, let's own it. Let me ask you, who doing it like Tahoe Bay?
Nobody.
Who the people's grand sheep?
I am.
Huh? Show me a more doing it like Tahoe Bay.
Ain't nothing.
And I shut my mouth. Let's go. I can't wait to see Boy Bay and sit him on his back pockets for the simple fact he disrespect the prophet when he speak. He embarrassing. He ain't no more American. The camera and carriage him, so I will embarrass him. After that, I dip and take a trip to Carbondale. Nah, it ain't the hood, but oh well. I'm coming with all the shells. Find Yuck Bay, dozing off the Zola. Civilize the savage, so she can hate no more. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, we own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, we own it. You come up against me, you know you gon' lose. Salt and pepper, gold teeth, floss it all for some views. Grown man wearing rabbit ears, acting like a wild coon. Had a whole squad looking like a buffoon. I'm the man, just admit it. You wanna do it how I did it, forget it. It's my time now, good riddance. Oh yeah, Neil Bay, you late with the court date. Don't make the Wash World citizens wait. Come on. Put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Now get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it.
Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Press 7 if you can hear me. I'm just waiting for everybody to come in because we're going to have an open panel tonight. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the manifest.
We're going to have an open panel
Check 1,
tonight.
2. Sean, we got one.
What they gonna do?
Yeah. Crypto, we got one.
I want to know what they going to do.
Yeah. Maymuna, we got one.
Get shots.
Candy, we got one. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, ain't worried about you frauds. Gone, hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Let's see who really hard, ain't worried about you frauds. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Ain't worried about you
60 shots in Akron.
about you frauds, boy. I'm a gorilla, Viet Cong, guerrilla warfare. Don't make me turn killer. You acting like my knife don't shank, my gun don't bust. Hit me quietly, we can do the fist to cup. Show up, I'm really about that stick fight, but I'm trying to keep it peace to bring my people to the light. You all washed up beer belly has-beens be tripping. Internet disrespect, making threats, you slipping. Now you said it how you think I'm gonna respond. With a song in a live stream, homie, you wrong. You done showed that John too many times and ain't used it. And I ain't really sure who you got me confused with. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Ain't worried about you frauds, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, ain't worried about your frauds. Holla at me privately, come on, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, the manifest of God. Hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest.
You know, this game will not be a reality to you if man did not calculate it or evaluate it or write it down. It wouldn't mean nothing to you.
So special.
It wouldn't mean nothing to you. The power of the mind is God mind. Connected to the force. The universal force is nature, the creator. You must be in balance with the universal force. this is the only way this works.
The manifest of God, the manifest of God. Hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the manifest of God, ain't worried about you fraud. Gone, hit me privately, let's see who really hard. I'm the
Original people.
I tried to tell you,
But don't nobody like to listen. Didn't I try to tell y'all? The world is out.
I'm the king of this YouTube. Ain't worried about you dudes. Ain't nothing that you do to make me care. But I pray to Allah, you don't take me there. See, I'm the type to get in front this mic and sacrifice. Alright, you the type to get in front the mic and hope you get some likes. I used to back the thing and go bang bang and boom. Today my brain cells is a fully armed army platoon, and y'all some cartoons, coons and buffoons. You wanna meet on IG? I prefer high noon. I'm a quick draw McGraw standing on that floor. It's I self, Lord and Master, Allah. See you dumb and you blind, can't see the summer is mine. You better pay attention, the answer's in between the lines. I'm the man still standing, kill them haters single-handed. Had them fighting each other with every punch I landed. Cut the head off the snake and his wife Medusa. And after Side Netta got the rest of them losers. Inky Yuck Yuck, Neil Bait in the debate league. Queen's Phone, Sweet Mom, and Triple C. Uncle Sir, OC, and the rest of them lanes. See, I'm calling names cause I ain't playing no games. Don't let your bride write a check that you know gon' bounce. Take heed from Dr. Inky, he out for the count.
See, I've been doing my workout. I've been on my raw diet. I've been eating that raw seaweed. I've been doing my push-ups. I've been getting my back rubbed. I've been doing my workout. I was ready for these things. We got Yuck Yuck putting guns to the head. We got Inky in the background. He back there crying now. We got Side Netta having Bible study. It's not a game, man. Talk away, we run this thing. It's not a game, I said.
Let me run it back.
Let me run it back.
I tried to tell you.
Original people.
I tried to tell you.
Original people.
I tried to tell you.
But don't nobody like to listen. Didn't I try to tell y'all? The world is out.
I'm the king of this YouTube. Ain't worried about you dudes. Ain't nothing that you do to make me care. But I pray to Allah, you don't take me there. See, I'm the type to get in front this mic and sacrifice. Alright, you the type to get in front the mic and hope you get some likes. I used to back the thing and go bang bang and boom. Today my brain cells is a fully armed army platoon, and y'all some cartoons, coons and buffoons. You wanna meet on IG? I prefer high noon. I'm a quick draw McGraw standing on that floor. It's I self, Lord and Master, Allah. See you dumb and you blind, can't see the summer is mine. You better pay attention, the answer's in between the lines. I'm the man still standing, kill them haters single-handed. Had them fighting each other with every punch I landed. Cut the head off the snake and his wife Medusa. And after Side Netta got the rest of them losers. Inky Yuck Yuck, Neil Bait in the debate league. Queen's Phone, Sweet Mom, and Triple C. Uncle Sir, OC, and the rest of them lanes. See, I'm calling names cause I ain't playing no games. Don't let your bride write a check that you know gon' bounce. Take heed from Dr. Inky, he out for the count.
See, I've been doing my workout. I've been on my raw diet. I've been eating that raw seaweed. I've been doing my push-ups. I've been getting my back rubbed. I've been doing my workout. I'm ready for these things. We got Yuck Yuck putting guns to the head. We got Inky in the background.
I've been doing my workout. I've been getting my back rubbed.
We got Side Netta having Bible study.
Side Netta over there having Bible study.
It's not a game, man. Hey, we run this thing. It's not a game, I said. It's not a game.
It's a setup. Original people, I told you. I told you, original people. The original people, I told you. The game is rigged. It's a setup. It's a setup. The game is rigged. The people's grand chic win all the time. The game is rigged. Look at them. Side Netta over there having Bible study with the Hebrew sister. You over there having Bible study. All them years he been putting in that work with comedic science, he ended up having Bible study. Now, ain't nothing wrong with Bible study. Everybody needs to find their place. That's right. All right. Remember the rabbit got the gun? When the grand sheik get the last laugh. They all gone, man. I named them all. And I left out some people. I left out some people. I named them all and I left out some people. Salt, pepper, go deep. Shout out to Inky, man. Listen, man. Let me give a shout out to Inky and Yuck Yuck Bay. Inky and Yuck Yuck Bay did so much for my YouTube career that I would be remiss if I didn't thank them when I received this award for the greatest YouTube entertainer on the East, West, South, and North Coast. You know what I'm talking about. These people crazy. They beefing now. Does he dug all right? Hey, King Moab, they beefing now. Yuck Yuck Bay mad at Inky, I hear. Inky mad at Yuck Yuck Bay. Inky said she took down the channels. She said she, good goodness of gracious. Oh my goodness. Let me run that verse back real quick.
See, I'm calling names because I ain't playing no game. Single-handed, had them fighting each other, standing. Self, Lord and Master, a law. See you dumb and you blind, can't see the summer is mine. You better pay attention, the answer's in between the lines. I'm the man still standing, kill them haters single-handed. Had them fighting each other with every punch I landed. Cut the head off the snake and his wife Medusa.
I cut the head off the snake and his wife Medusa. Y'all know who that is.
And at the side netter got the rest of them losers. Inky, Yuck Yuck, Neil Bay in the debate league.
Inky, man, them people was calling me, sneaking me on their show. Halftime, I ain't even know I was live.
Queen's Phone, Sweet Ma, and Triple C, Uncle C.
Y'all remember Sweet Ma? Sweet Ma. Sweet Ma turned out to be psychopath. Oh my god, these people crazy.
OC and the rest of them lame. See, I'm calling names cause I ain't playing no games. Don't let your bride write a check that you know gon' bounce. Take heed from Dr. Inky, he out for the count.
Don't let your pride write a check. Don't let your pride write a check that you know gon' bounce. Take heed from Dr. Inky, he out for the count. Inky snoring on somebody's couch. But anyway, welcome to another edition of Morse World TV. I'm your host, Brother Tahaka Bay. Family, the question at the question at hand is very simple, and I'm gonna open up this panel up. What has Black Power done for us? And can we be honest? Can we be honest? What has the Black Power liberation movements done for us? Will anybody grab the mic and be honest? Can this? I want to spend maybe a hour. Can anybody grab the mic and be honest? Since the so-called Black Power movement of the 80s, with the new Black Panther parties, Aaron Michaels, etc., can we name one thing of significance that has affected change in our community? Can we be honest tonight? Because I'm telling you, man, our people are constantly dying, and we're turning into first responders marching. First responders marching. That's all. First responders marching is, you know, when a fire happened and the first responders is the fire department or the police department or something like that. It seems like the militia groups or the gun groups that always got their camera in front of their face, and we're going to talk about them because it's not everybody. They seem to be just turning into first responders marching. Y'all hear about the brother that got shot 16 times? Did y'all hear about that? Y'all hear about the brother that got shot 16 times in Akron, Ohio? I mean, 60 times. I'm sorry. My apology. He got shot 60 times in Akron, Ohio. And what happened was he had a broken tail light. He had a broken tail light and he took off running. He jumped out the car to flee, and just basic reports that he turned around and they shot 90 times, the police. He got hit 60 times. I talked to a few people, or I watched online where a few people was being dispatched from the so-called Black Power artillery gun holding community, and they said they on their way there. To do what, though? To do what? Like, what do you do when you get there? What do you do? Somebody gets shot 60 times. I mean, somebody say he shot at the police. Well, in fact, the reports that he shot at out the window. The reports say that he shot out the window. But nevertheless, I get all of that. But the point that I'm making, boss trucker, and we got a trucker show coming on too soon, boss trucker. The point that I'm making is, what is these people claiming to be about fighting for liberation? What are they going there for? What are you going for? To scream Black Power? To yell at somebody? What are you going there for? Crowd control? What's going on? See, the new Black Panther Party under Ern Michaels was founded in 88 by Ern Michaels. Since 1988, there has not been a decrease of killing of people in our community. It actually increased. It's actually gotten worse. If we can leave it up to the internet. If we can leave it up into the internet, it actually got worse. So look, in Buffalo, somebody, European, goes up into the grocery store and later, how many other people he can lay down? Just start banging off. After the fact, Malik Zulu Shabazz dispatched people to Buffalo. For what? For what? Why? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand what's the solution. And so I want to open, you know what I mean? I want to open the mic up, you know what I mean? Because I want to find out what is, if we got some militias up in here, you know what I mean? Somebody say, if anything, it should be security for the protesters to make sure that the police don't get extra. The brother is gone. There is nothing really that can be done. And I agree with you, but I think that those who show up to be security should remain security and stop acting like protesters. Wouldn't you agree, guerrilla tactics? Instead of going up there talking about Black Power and trying to incite the crowd, then just secure the crowd. Just say it. You feel what I'm saying? Let me put the link in here real quick. Just say it. You know what I mean? I agree. Guerrilla tactics, we need security. But don't go acting like you security, but you dare trying to incite the crowd when you ain't gonna do nothing yourself. Like, why is it that these Europeans are able to just show up and kill wholesale, but there is no, like, we got all of these intelligence people. You know, a brother reached out to me and said, I want to talk with you. I'm with the intelligence force. You with the intelligence force? He didn't say it like that. I embellished just a little bit, but he came off like he was with secret intelligence of the new Black Panther Party or one of these militias. And my first thing in my mind, I'm like, oh, they got special operations. They got special operations to talk to me. Little old me, they got special operations. But these special operations can't figure out where the next Europeans are going to spray down a parking lot of our people. They got special operations. Allah my witness, I'm not playing. Allah is my everlasting witness. Somebody reached out to me like they were special operations. You hear what I'm talking about? I don't want to talk on the phone. No talking on the phone. I said, what is state your business, brother? Please state your business. No, not on the phone. Not on the phone. He is special operations. I said, nah, I mean, just talking code. Just give me something. I need you to meet me at 1700 hours. Man, you done lost your daggone mind. I need you to meet me at 1700 hours. Tell me where. I'm like, what? They got special operations, but they don't know what these Europeans about to do. He want me to meet him at 1700 hours. Man, listen, man, I don't know what you think I am. I talk military language. Man, I'm from around the way, man. I don't know what no 1700 hours is. I don't know what that is, man. I don't even know what that is, man. I don't even know. Nope, I don't know. I'm from around the way. All I know is 5:45. 6:30. That's all I know. He tried to talk sophisticated military language to me. Allah, my witness, I can't make this stuff up. Listen, I cannot make this stuff up. I try to tell you. I mean, Cherokee Outlaw say 5 p.m. But listen, Cherokee Outlaw, listen, man. All I know is hit me at 5:45. Meet me on the corner at 5:45. You know, 6:30. Quarter after. Meet me quarter after. That's how I grew up. Now, somebody say on a serious note. On a serious note, come on in. I'm gonna get Rico up here in a minute. Rico got something to say. Look, on a serious note, men and boys need military training in some form or fashion. Oh, absolutely, brother, absolutely. But we do got to understand that we also got to understand that military ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So all boys don't need military. All sisters don't need military training. It ain't always for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't doing military training. I do guerrilla warfare training. That's what I do. I ain't doing the military training. I do guerrilla warfare training. I want to do like them people up in the commandos do. I mean, I ain't with all that military rank and file. I don't need none of that. All I need to do is know the target. You know what I mean, I'm gonna find a way to get there. Swim through the brush like AJ. Jump out the plane. I ain't doing none of that. Let me see what else I can do. Drive the ice cream truck round the corner. Ring the bell. Blah, blah. That's all I know. I ain't playing. I get my brother Babu back. Lee D, can you open your camera, Lee D? Who is Lex D? Lex D, are you there? What's up, Abu X? How you doing, brother?
Peace, King. I'm here. I'm well. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I'm enjoying the journey, man. These people
man.
super crazy. So
yes,
I'm going to just enjoy it while they're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a learning lesson for all of us. You know, we got to take notes, though. You know, and we got to be cognitive of the things that are taking place in front of us. You know what I'm saying? It's the power of discernment. A lot of us don't have the ability to disseminate information, and I think that's what it ultimately boils down to. These individuals know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. It's a history behind it.
Let me say this. Let me say this to Marissa Nicole. Marissa Nicole, I'm going to do my best to keep your brother name out my mouth. I seen his live stream the other day. Fam, this is just a sidebar. So the guy named Darren Boss Talk, I seen his live stream the other day. After a few weeks, he made a lot of videos about me. He put my wife, my children on his page and everything. He went live the other day, and he looked kind of sickly. No, he looked sickly. And he said that he had diabetes. Or something like that. I've never seen a diabetic lose so much weight so fast. He was only gone for 2 weeks. But whatever the case may be, I'm going to keep my name, your name, and your brother's name out my mouth because I just hope the best for him. but I don't know what to say. He looks pretty rough. He looks pretty rough. He does. So I don't know what to say. There's a video floating around says that he has contracted the what they call it, the autoimmune deficiency syndrome. I don't know. So I'm not going to say anything because he looked, it just looked pretty rough. So that's just a sidebar. I'm just going to leave that alone. And Marissa, why did you put on your arrest sheet that you was quote unquote white? I didn't understand that. And y'all used to argue with me that y'all are quote unquote black or whatever you call yourself these days. But anyway, that's another conversation. But take care of yourself. Bye now. With that being said, I just had to throw that in, Abu X. If you know, I know you follow the channel. You know them people attack me too. I didn't name him in the song because he was worthless. But now that I see his condition when he went live the other day, I said, "Good goodness gracious, I'm gonna leave that one alone."
Aki, you have a very powerful energy around you. You know, you're protected. You're loved.
Praise the Lord for that.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Praise the Lord for that.
You have a lot of people who just don't understand. You make me laugh. I'm tough, but you make me laugh, and it's you know what I'm saying.
Brother,
and
you
we
know
have
what,
to
bro?
laugh. We gotta laugh.
Go ahead. I can't cut you off, man.
Because it's pathetic, and our children, it's the youth. If you see my comments, I'm going straight to the youth.
Right.
Yeah, they playing games with our children, man. You know?
Yeah, 100. 100. And this is the thing. Abu, one thing that we got to do is a lot of times what happens is they do all this stuff in public and we try to solve it in private. Now we got to start bringing these people and throwing them under the bus in public. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like anybody that's going through something as it relates to their children and relationships in this age of social media, people will try to drag you and embarrass you or say things about you to prevent you from speaking out, you know, or they'll try to make you believe that something that they could say could damage you. Well, if you're dealing with children, the damage is already done. So we're gonna go kamikaze with this thing. And publicly right now is unfortunately is yielding more results than private.
It's deep. That's deep.
It's yielding more results.
That's deep.
You know, check it out, Abu X. Them people attack me. Them people have my mother. Them people have my wife, my children, and all. Everybody's seen it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's seen it. But me, I was like, okay, let's go. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, these people are suffering miserably. Miserably. And I say they suffering miserably because I've seen little live streams. I've seen how they talk to each other. I've seen them fighting each other. They are suffering miserably.
It's toxic.
Absolutely.
And
so
it's a mental issue.
Yeah, and so the evil that they bring, I want to say this, Abu, the evil that people bring, as long as you don't stoop to that evil will consume them. They will be consumed by their own fire.
Let me vet you back on that. I agree, Aki. And then there's ancient traditions that speak about Ishvet.
Right.
Now it's a concept. It's a perspective that has been practiced or so-called practiced. There's a lot of things we have to dissect within that. Meaning there's war amongst us. War is real. Jihad is real. And if you understand the importance of jihad or Ishvet, you understand, or you overstand this is something so much more bigger. We're dealing with lower levels of frequencies. We're dealing with higher levels of frequencies. And we have to work towards balance.
Absolutely.
And these individuals know this. See, this is the thing. This is no such thing as irony. This ain't funny. Y'all know what y'all doing. And Tahaka, I'm gonna fall back.
Hey, brother, and that's why I say, Abu X, before you fall back, that's why I say this stuff gotta be It got to be displayed before the public so the public can assist, because the higher vibration attract to the higher vibration. All that old European psychology that opposites attract, that's corny. Guess what? The positive will attract to the positive, and now the positive may not be as numbersome as the negative, but it'd be more powerful than the negative.
Indeed.
You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Like
yes,
you can
sir.
get 1,000 negative people and you can get 100 positive people. The 100 positive people will rule the negative people every time if they know that they're positive and on a concentrated effort to overcome this 1,000.
And
the problem with our numbers is we don't understand our own power,
because we don't want to take time out to research or take time out to self-evaluate. Because my thing is this: if you don't know something, go to someone who may know something a little bit more than you. Humble yourself. It's humility.
I like how you say humble yourself. You know, sometimes we are scared to follow until we're strong enough to lead. You know what I mean? Like if you know somebody is sharper, but you can't articulate it. If you know somebody is a bit more intelligent, but you can't articulate what's the source of their intelligence, then just follow that until you are able to lead. You know what I mean? Sometimes everybody is not trying to lead you down the path. It's just maybe you just don't understand it through your life experience, but you can feel strength wherever it may be. You can feel it. You can feel it. Just follow the strength until you're able to understand it, articulate it, and then you become the strength that which you was following. You ain't got to follow forever. The problem is we don't like to follow. We don't like to follow.
We don't want that discipline.
We believe it's weak. We believe following is weak.
Discipline.
You know what I'm saying?
And it comes with discipline. It comes with sacrifice.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Abu, let me get Lex D up in here. And let me ask you before I let you go, brother, what in the world is the solution with this? What is the deal with this march? Every time somebody gets shot, every time somebody gets killed, the brother in Akron was shot 60 times. Regardless of if he had a gun, regardless if he was shot at the police, how do 60 rounds enter into the flesh of one person in civilian clothes? This is not Vietnam.
It's unacceptable. It's not Beirut, right? This ain't. Come on.
And now, what happens when the brothers that like to march, the sisters and screaming Black Power show up? What do you think they're showing up for?
Well, it's painfully obvious, you know, and you individuals need to stop it, because you're making a mockery out of yourselves and your family members. See, it's complete nonsense. They're chasing cameras. There's no real solution. It's bullshit, and y'all need to stop it, because not only is it affecting your family, it's affecting your family that's you know, amongst you, your people that you say that you're fighting for, that you claim that you're standing up for. So it's an embarrassment to all of us. So we're asking you humbly, peacefully, to stop.
Wouldn't it be nice, and I'll get the next guest in a minute. Wouldn't it be nice if they just said, you know what, we're going to make sure our people are secure, and then they remain silent and just make sure the people are secure.
King.
But it seems as though that everybody who show up, they don't just make sure the people are secure. They out there screaming Black Power after European, and they not ready to go to war with the European. What they trying to do is incite people to go to war with the European.
They have a hidden agenda.
While they sit back.
They have a hidden agenda, and we know this.
Exactly.
And you exposed this, and then we have to be able to disseminate this information and be able to make sure that it's clear, you know, that this is bullshit. Stop playing games. We know who you work for. We know who you work for. We know who you're working with, you know, and you're gonna face truth. You're gonna face it, justice and truth. You're gonna face it, you know. But I'm telling you right now, we're gonna expose you, all of y'all, those who are fraudulent. And I respect how Brother Bay is adamant on making it clear that there's a difference between those who are really trying to do something positive and have the you know, the characteristics of a true revolutionary through morals and deeds, not out here just, you know, running rampant, having these orgies and all this nonsense that they're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all need to stop it. You know what I'm saying? So, but those who are doing the right thing and have the right focus you know, as I mentioned to some of the young brothers in one of your shows, I said, you know, it was a great mission statement that they had. But we have to kind of peel back and learn more of our history before we jump out the window and do these things, because you can put a target on your back. It's very important that you pay attention and listen to Brother Bay. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sign off, Aki.
I
Thank you for
appreciate you.
having me here. Listen, I need you. I need your wisdom. I need your you know, your energy. I need it in my life. And
Hey, brother, you know,
to push on.
we gonna make it happen due to the simple fact that it ain't over, because it ain't never over. You know what I mean? We live on, and so we're gonna fight until this negative energy dissipates, and then we take it to the next level. That's just how it's gonna be. All right.
Much respect to everybody. You know what I mean?
Indeed. I got my brother Minister Paul in the building. I haven't seen him in a minute. We were supposed to do a show. I don't know what happened. I had switched courses or something, and we didn't get to that show. But I don't know, when it come back around, I guess we get to it. But I'm so glad that he called in and don't take anything personal, obviously, unless he came up here to cuss me out. But his character don't say that, so I know that can't be the case. But with that being said, I got Lex D in the building. Lex D, are you there? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
Uh-oh. Friend or foe? Who sent you?
I'm a friend of Grand Sheet, sir.
I'm just playing.
Much respect.
How you doing? How you doing, Lex D? How you doing? Now
you know what? I'm on this hamster wheel, you know?
The standing question
I got
is,
a piece of cheese in front of me. What's your question?
This is the thing. The standing question is this. Since 1988, Aaron Michaels organized the new Black Panther Party. Since Malik took over, you know, we went through the college phase. That was short-lived, if you will. But believe it or not, Khalid was ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna tell you now, Khalid Muhammad was ready to rock and roll. When he went, there's a story where he went to approach the Ku Klux Klan in I think it was somewhere in Texas. And he was locked and loaded, ready to rock and roll. Today we don't see ready to rock and roll, you know. So the standing question is, what is this all about? You know, people spend tons of money just to travel to these locations. They leave their children at home. People got standing bills. People have car notes. People have rent. People have mortgage. People have food. People have gas, and everything is going up. But it seems to me that this ego-driven, whatever it is so strong that people will continue to sacrifice their finances for something that's really a dead end, because over 20 years, there has nothing that became of it. So that's the standing question. What in the world are we doing as it relates to the liberation sector of our community? The armed liberation sector of our community. Let me say that, because I'm not a part of the armed liberation sector.
You put armed in it. So I don't know anything about the armed.
What part of the community are you with? Are you with the spiritual? Are you with the social? What part of the organization are you with?
I'm not a part of any organization.
Not organization. Let me say this. What part of the uplifting community are you a part of, if any? Or what school of thought, or, you know what I mean, what you have to offer to our people from the uplifting perspective? Let me say it like that.
Thank you. So when you put it like that, I am from the uplifting part. I'm not associated with any of, I mean, I watch you. I'm watching everyone. I am a person who's living in Detroit, Michigan. I see many things that can be improved, many things I can be a part of. The reason why I decided that I would come and talk to you to Harker Bay is I see where my father told me a long time ago. He said there is going to become a time. A long time ago. This was when I was a little kid. I'm 30 years old. And my dad, he told me, and he prepared me. He said, look, there's going to be a time It's all going to go into chaos. I don't know if he actually said that in a way where he was serious at that time. Now that we're in it, it all is coming to fruition, right? Now, I actually started following you because you were one of the people that actually highlighted this is a critical time in our people's history. This is a critical time where we have to really pay attention to what's going on, not only in politics, we have to look at financials too. What is it that we are going to do? You know, and that's on my personal level, but I'm not going to put that on here right now. I noticed really what made me come and talk to you, because I have been, you know, paying attention to everything, listening to everything, watching all of these different movements and seeing what are y'all doing? What are you actually doing? Because that's my only question. I don't care if y'all are trying to get, notoriety. That might be something. That's a good thing. Notoriety is something that, okay, I'm doing this in my community. I want notoriety so that we're able to move forward. I'm in Detroit. I don't know the Moorish Temple of America in Detroit, to be honest.
They bluffing.
I honestly don't know. You said it was who? Big Nothing?
Much bluffing going on.
Okay. So what I wanted to talk about by talking to you, you're somebody that I've been following for almost 2 years now. You've been consistent with your information. You always, like, even when I think about because I actually thought about, engaging in certain organizations, and you've been somebody where, you're following the actual, not only, execution, you're following the litigation, you're following the people involved. You are somebody that I have been watching, and I literally get my inspiration from you in this sense.
I got
so
it.
I know, I'm just telling you, for one thing, I heard a lot of things already. The word overstand is not a word. There is no overstand. We understand what needs to be done. Okay. I just lost a cousin 2 days ago in the prison system. The hospital gave him too much of his medication. He died. He was in a coma for about a day, and they sent his father out. They pulled the plug. But he was a part of something else. So I get when all these people say, hey, what's going on? Why is it that when we try to express, we are being killed? Our communities are being disregarded. We the situation you were just talking about. Why is it that we can't have some sort of convene where this is something that is uncalled for? And it hurts. It hurts because I hear about it. It's like every single couple months. It's always something. It's always something that hurts us.
Well, let me sis, can I cut in for 1 second? Let me tell you what I think it is.
Sir.
Let me tell you what I think it is. This is the problem. There is no true planned agenda to get us up out of this mess that's on the ground at this time. I'm working something. I try not to put it on social media too much, but you know what I mean? Once it get
a little stable, then I will push it more on social media. But for right now, I don't think social media is the place because the climate that we're living in right now. However, two things that we're missing with this liberation, we need to be liberated, number one. But two things are missing. Two elements are missing. The first thing is missing is central authority. And what I mean by central authority, we always going to need one person or a collective, a small group, to express the problems and the concerns of the larger constituents. Everybody want to be the leader. We got to the point now where people would say, well, I don't need no leader. I don't need no this. I don't need no that. But a leader is essentially is just the spokesman for every person that has suffered oppression in our case. And so that's one thing that we don't have. We don't have a collective that is ready to rally around one person, protect him or her with their life, and support them with all of their resources that they're able to in order to articulate our concerns to get our resolve that we're looking for.
Yes, sir.
That's the
Absolutely.
problem. That's the problem. Now,
Absolutely.
that's the problem. Now, as soon as one was if I was to step up today or tomorrow and say, listen, this is the plan. You may not be able to get to hear the plan because I'm not going to put it on social media. But what I will do is I will send everybody the plan on how to move as we organize. But I need your support right now. Everybody will trivialize oh, he's trying to get some money. Oh, we are messed up. This European has done a fine job on putting the confusion in our
controlling and programming.
Yeah, he done a fine job with that. And secondly, let me tell you this. This is another thing we have a problem with as a people too. And we see this in the Black Panther Party. We see this in a lot of the gun club, gun things. We have a problem with discipline. We have a problem with discipline. We're so needy. We seem to be some of the most thirstiest people on the face of the earth. Soon as a sister come around with some tights on, brothers lose their mind. Soon as a brother come around with a tight shirt on, sister lose their mind. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll hold you,
and I'm talking
brother
about
Tahakape, with all due respect. This is not what I'm talking about.
No,
I'm not talking about no tight. I'm not talking about tight pants and makeup. I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about.
I'm talking to you. We cannot get if we can't get past the discipline part and the organizing part from the central authority, we ain't doing nothing.
Right. Here's my thing.
Because we're going to fall apart. We're going to fall apart. We need to be disciplined and remember what we're getting in this for.
Can I make another point real quick?
Absolutely.
So, what my father taught me, it's not about a revolution. Everything that people are talking about, we're going to march in the streets. This has been going on for decades, since before I was born. My mother went to a segregated school, and she was born in 1967. You do the math. That is still, those issues are those micro issues. A revolt is different than revolution.
I'm not talking about a revolt, though. See, that's not
exactly.
That's not
a revolt is different than a revolution. We're not trying to revolt.
No,
we're just trying.
I don't think we're in a position to revolt. Number one.
Yes, I agree with you.
I'm talking about a central authority and a little bit of discipline, so we can at least organize and find out what we want to do and how we're going to do it.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Because the central authority is only the person or the persons that represent the greater constituent. They only represent the concerns or speak to the concerns. So first we need to assist the central authority for that, and we need the discipline so it doesn't fall apart. Soon as somebody
we need somebody in Congress.
Huh?
Not just Congress with them old people, because y'all know Congress got about what? 100 and some people. We ain't even made it to Congress.
But sis, before we can get there,
for somebody to be in Congress to represent us, we must organize with us first and put our collective efforts together nationally to get who we want in there, not one that puts on the ballot. We push someone to get on the ballot. We push my brother Minister Paul to get on the ballot, and we ensure that Minister Paul bring the goods back. We just don't vote on who's on the ballot. That's where we've been wrong at. That's where people think politics is crooked, because we begin to vote for people who present themselves to us. See, we need to select our leader as opposed to elect our leader. Electing a leader is one that is sold to you. Selecting your leader is the one that you pick before they even get on the ballot. That's the problem with politics. You follow what I'm saying?
Exactly. And people do not know the political process. They will go ahead and vote, and they'll say, I voted this year, but who did you vote for?
No, guerrilla
tactics. Who did you vote for on that
local organization got to come before Congress. You see what I'm saying? We got to organize locally first. You feel what I'm saying? Locally. You see, because you can get the bag from a local political stance quicker than you can get one from a national. Way quicker.
And look, Grant, I'm with you. I'm with you, Grant Street. I'm with you.
So that's the thing, sis. I'm telling you, the two things that we missing organization and we missing discipline. Those two things are the foundation to get us where we need to go. And what I mean, discipline encompasses morals, it encompasses principles, it encompasses principles of action. You follow what I'm saying? That's what we're missing.
Yes, and I'm here as a civilian. I'm here as somebody who works. I give everything to my job. You know, it's kind of like where they would say, this is new age. Here's the thing. People are lost in that old mode of thinking. And they want to say, oh, when we were slaves. Now, look at your situation right now. Are you a slave? Are you a slave? I'm going to say it politely. I'll work for a job, and I go ahead and I think I'm doing all the work, right?
Right.
To keep my family, you know, safe. I'm keeping my family who's there. I'm trying to help.
That's right.
I don't do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm trying to help with the situation. And I got a whole bunch of other people. We just confused. Hey, we've been working. Look, it's almost like that ship. Where you got the ups, you got the downs. Look, we are there.
Yes, indeed.
We are trying to help people who ain't there. But you can get there. Point. I'm going to tell you, you can get there. But I'm going to tell you this, Grand Sheep. I will tell you this. We are at a time, future unpredictable. We are just trying to make it work. We are trying to make it work so that we can survive and make it sooner. Save up a little bit every little so often. Let's try to, you know, build a savings account for a home. Build a savings account for a little bit of extra money. You know, trying to get everything in line. But we are going off of we're trying to build our lives off of something that wasn't built for us. It never was. It never was. So we have to fight for that. And I can tell you this. I don't care how many guns you got. You can have an AR-15. You have one of them. What's that other one that does the we just have 4th of July, so we heard everybody with them guns, they shooting them off in the sky. Okay, you got enough for that? Well, why is it that house at the end of the street looking like a crack house? Why don't nobody own it? Who got the money to own it?
Tell him,
Why ain't
sis.
nobody bought it?
Say, why it look like a
We're in a really fragile place. And I don't mean to be one of those people that's like, oh, let's do all this stuff and I'm not doing anything, you know?
Right.
And it hurts me. It hurts me that I live in this community and I gotta walk by, you know, I walk to the store and see all these buildings just dilapidated. All this grass. We know somebody got a grass mower. I know you got that John Deere.
Somebody got a grass mower.
Somebody got a John Deere.
And they just walk right past it.
They just won't do it.
I gotta get Minister Paul in, but sis, I appreciate you. I appreciate you in the comments. They loving you in the comment section. I'm telling you, they loving you in the comment section. And I find you to be almost as hilarious as me. Because the crack house on the corner thing.
Hey, look, I can't see the comments. So I just say I love you. I love you. Get them back on. I'll still be here listening to the conversation.
And I love you back. And I'm so glad that you had enough courage to chime in. A lot of people don't like to chime in, but you've been watching me for 2 years and you chimed in and I can appreciate you. All right?
All right. Love you too.
You made the Grand Sheik laugh. Let me tell you that. Peace and love. Hey, with that being said, let me get my bro up in here. Get my bro up in here. Minister Paul. Minister Paul, how you been doing, bro?
Oh, well, God evening. You know, we say God evening. God evening, Grand Sheik.
God evening. Man, hey, let me tell you something, man. You've been around some Moors or 5%ers or something, man, because you didn't just came up with a new one, man. You know the Moors, they come up with the I self, Lord, Master, arm, leg, heart, head, overstand, understand. I don't know who came up with that one. Overstand, understand, round the stand. And you hit me with God evening. But I like that. I might have to adopt that one.
Yeah,
Man, I'm doing wonderful,
that's that
brother.
Black Messiah terminology, brother.
Yeah, I like that, brother. I like that. And you know what? I always say that I butcher words because my tongue ain't fit for this foreign language called English. So when I say words, I don't even get mad. You see me on the show sometime, I'll be like, blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, I don't care. My tongue been stolen from me. I'm gonna do the best I can with these crazy mixed up pseudo words that they didn't put together from 5 different languages. I'm good. They don't matter to me. But brother, how you been doing, brother? I'm glad to have you here chiming in. But you know the standing question, but you can take it however you want to take it wherever you want to take it. I mean to say, bro, what in the world are we proving and accomplishing? This day, we have Europeans walking into grocery stores with the express purpose of us being a target.
Mm-hmm.
Just yesterday, and I don't mean yesterday as in yesterday, but just yesterday, European walk into a church, say a prayer, and lay as many as he can. And I can go on and on and on, but every time I turn around,
mm-hmm.
the group that claims, the group that claims to be most militant in our community, because we got a lot of different groups. We got the Moors, we got the Nation, we got the Hebrews, come on, your organization, we got a lot of different groups. But the one that claimed to be the most stand up in defensive in for self-defense. I mean, this is what they market. Every time they show up, they're doing no more than what the regular person that shows up does. They're screaming, they're disorganized, they're chanting with no real solution. So I'm just open the floor up to what you think. And maybe I know people will get mad at me for questioning this or asking or posing this question, because the first thing they're going to say, well, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Well, one thing I'm not doing is walking around with guns, calling European crackers and talking about the pig. And I'm just not doing that. That's not my lane. You know what I'm saying? But this is the lane that is being professed by
many of our brothers and sisters who put on black and carry guns. And I'm saying, what's the point at this point? There hasn't been any significant response. There haven't been any significant progress in this gun-toting, black boots on the ground movement that's supposed to address this aggressive stance against our people, because that's what they say. That's not what I say. So, brother, what do you have to say?
Yeah. I think that, and thank you for giving me the space, Grand Sheik. I appreciate you. You know, Baba Steve Coakley taught us that the most dangerous person in the black community is the jailer. And what Baba Steve meant by the jailer was the most dangerous person, and you look historically, is the people who can bring people together. If you want to really get under the government's skin or whoever, be the jailer. That's who they always go after. You know, they don't go after the divider. They want to kill the jailer, the person who can bring different factions together. That's been their greatest threat. You know, I'm the peacemaker. I'm the peacemaker. See, I come out of that 90s era. And, you know, that was before the internet, you know, when you used to actually have to sit down with people, wait till they come to town, break bread or whatever. So those of us from that era, we're from a different cloth. I mean, yeah, they had debates back then. Amos Wilson, Steve Coakley, but it wasn't to the degree it is in social media. With social media, it became monetized and everything just went haywire. But that being said, your initial question was, what has the New Black Panther Party and others done? You said armed, done for the community. I can only speak personally. I mean, everybody has their own personal story. And when you say armed, you know, I'm going to take liberty not only being armed with guns, but being armed with knowledge.
Well, I'm specifically talking about the guns, because it seemed like the guns become a part of the prop and the romanticizing of self-defense.
Right.
When in fact, over romanticizing, and I'm saying romanticizing the fact that you are going to retaliate, respond, or aggressively address the problems that we have. So I'm literally talking about armed.
Okay.
I'm talking about weaponry. When
Right.
you show up with weaponry after 20 years, it's time for someone to say, well, what you doing?
Right. But, you know, coming out of the 90s, brother, it wasn't the guns that inspired people. Dr. Collar's not known for the gun. That's not what he's known for. He's known for, he's known for the intellect. You know, he didn't get censored by the Senate, House bill, what was it? The Senate and the Congress, I think, back in 1993 because of the gun.
Absolutely.
It was because of words. So, you know, when I see different people from that era, I have a respect. I have a respect for you, Grand Sheik. But back to I do. Because let me just take a little detour here. I think one day when all this blows over, you are one of the most brilliant minds when it comes to psychoanalyzing people. I've noticed that about you. When you get serious and you start psychoanalyzing people, I don't know if you read body language, but you can psychoanalyze people. You're an expert at that. If you could ever get those young rappers on your show and do to them what you do to the other formations, brother, we would solve this hip hop thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Overnight. But let me get to my story.
Hey, can I chime in on that?
Yeah, go ahead,
brother? I'm actually working on, and I'll say this here, I'm actually working on it too, to get up into that entertainment aspect, to have that conversation. In fact, Lord Jamal called me today from Brand Nubian, called me today, and we're gonna be linking up probably this coming weekend, you know. And I mean, it's some things going on behind the scenes, you know, to try to get this energy into other places. You know what I mean? We just not stuck right here. You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate that you can see when I say in my song, you got to see between the lines.
Yeah.
You got to see between the lines between the entertainment and the inspiration. And honor to those who are able to see between that. And because that's what we're doing here. You get a little bit of entertainment, you're going to get some inspiration. But the inspiration is what is really going to propel us to get this thing moving, because people need to be inspired to go in another direction. But the floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, but I know I took the long way around to reach it, but the initial question, what did the New Black Panthers do for me? About 2008, I exposed the Tea Party for training white women to shoot. True story. It's around 2008. This Tea Party radio station in North Carolina spent 3 hours basically trying to plot my assassination. That's really what they were doing.
They want to assassinate you?
Brother, it was hectic. They took 3 hours bashing me with a 100,000 watt station. So at the same time, the New Black Panther Party, that same weekend, made a move against the Tea Party. That same weekend, the Nation of Islam dropped my article talking about it. Had it just stayed local, they would have killed me, brother. So the moral of that story is we all play our roles. I might not have benefited like directly, but indirectly, oh yeah. It was Malik really who paved the way for me to get on Fox News. You know, every now and then Fox, you ask, what was the purpose of going on Fox News? They need a black boogeyman every now and then.
Absolutely.
So watching Malik, I know it taught me how to navigate around certain questions. But I'm always going to look for the bright side. And I see, your points.
But what's suspect to me? Let me say this. What's suspect to me about? I mean, at this stage of the game, 2022, and you take a look back. Reflection. In the More Science Temple of America, we talk about reflection is the business of man. Like we should make it our business to look back and see what things really are. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the midst, it might be something, but when you look back, you should be able to assess and see what things is for real. So when we look back now, like for instance, if I go back on YouTube and look at all the interviews that Malik Zulu Shabazz did under the label of the New Black Panther Party, without me knowing anything, I would think that this is a well-polished machine. And I ain't talking about Dr. Khaled. I would think that this is a well-polished machine. I think this is a well-potential military. I think this is a well-orchestrated effort to liberate our people from the news, Fox News and all of them, CNN, C-SPAN, from the news, I would think that. But the last few years, I come to see that it's never been that. So the news have played an intricate role also in promoting the propaganda that this is the boogeyman under the bed that possibly has a solution when in fact they don't have a solution. So even Fox News and the media are able to utilize two factors. They be able to utilize one, say we need a boogeyman that's in the community that will respond, and we also need to promote them as if they capable of responding, and with that, the people would even be more drawn to that. And when they draw to that confusion, that ain't going nowhere. When the public look at them on Fox News and Malik is all articulate and he know how to swim in these pool full of sharks. He's being a shark himself. You know what I mean? It actually it actually muddied the waters even worse. So now we look at it now like what's the point of fighting our revolution on Fox News? What's the point today? What's the point of fighting our revolution on CNN? What's the point? There is no point. It never got us anywhere. You see what I'm saying? If we want real work, Malik is a promoter. We can look back now and see that he's a promoter. He promoted Dr. Khalid Muhammad into superstar status on that campus. You see what I'm saying? And he came with superstar status quality, but Malik helped it go to another level because he's a promoter. And, you know, Dr. Khalid, he's the best that ever did it, you know? But Malik did that. Malik is a promoter. So we have to take that into account in 2022. Now in 2022, is that a reasonable path towards liberation? Always throwing up your camera. I watched them last week. Everybody put up your camera. Everybody go live. Everybody go live. That is not a reasonable path to liberation when you examine 20, 30 years ago. That becomes a part of the plot at the end of the day. And we start to feed them fuel in order to keep the waters muddy in the hearts and minds of our people.
Yeah, but I think that everything can work towards our liberation if in the proper context. You know, but I always bring my books, Grand Sheik. And let me say this, I guess with me, I can just give a personal examples. I'm not saying what you say does not have any validity to it, but I know when the Tea Party was putting out there to kill Minister Paul, they didn't say directly kill me, but they were setting the atmosphere. I'm talking about the height. When they made that move that weekend, that really saved my life, brother. I mean, that's my personal testimony. But I bring my books. Always look at, this is a great book right here. Rebellion or Revolution by Harold Cruz. He's most famous for The Crisis of the Negro Intellectual, but Rebellion or Revolution hits exactly what you're talking about. It talks about, the not hypocrisy, but kind of the contradictions between rebellion and revolution. I'll tell you a point he makes. He talks about how we try to glorify the Deacons for Defense. We glorify Robert Williams, and we call them revolutionaries, right? People would say, Robert Williams is a revolutionary. But on the other hand, he was actually defending those who were just trying to reform. He was actually defending the NAACP. So did that make him a revolutionary or did that make him a reformist? So the point of that is everything can work for our liberation. And I understand that people are going to fall out and have their disagreements, but there's a certain frequency you reach when you say, okay, that helped me. As I'm moving this way, I can see what this person did help me get over that bridge. What that person did help me get over that bridge. And I think one day we're going to come to that agreement.
I think it's going to get to the point where we're going to have to be super critical. We call ourselves critical thinkers, but we're not critical responders. You understand what I'm saying? We'll think critically, but when it's time to act off our results from our critical thinking, once we came with the summation, we don't act. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this: in this age of social media, right? You get a Kevin Samuels. A Kevin Samuels is able to get the attention of hundreds of thousands around the countries. And you got other YouTubers too, but I'm gonna use Kevin Samuels for an example. You know what I mean? He's able to pretty much single-handedly with his camera and his ideas, able to draw hundreds of thousands of people to listen to him. In this day and time, how do you take a pro, quote unquote, black revolution to a Fox News, to a CNN, to a news share? That's unnecessary. You got thousands of people. There is no general that should be the media person. Why is the head general always the media person in this showcase of resistance? Because it's ego. It's ego. That's all it is. It's ego and vanity.
If we look at not to cut you off, Grand Sheik, but if we take a critical look at the media, Fox and CNN, they ain't on that time anymore. Ever since the Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, George Floyd, those states have been on the Black Lives Matter movement.
But no, you're missing it.
There is a video right now on YouTube. Let me. And matter of fact, I'll show it to you. It's from CBS. It's from CBS, and they're highlighting no other than Nick Bezel. Nick Bezel comes out of nowhere right after Grandmaster Jay. They're highlighting Nick Bezel. This video is viral. This is on CBS, CBS.com. Now, the point that I'm making is they pick and choose what they use in order for their message to get across. You know, now, for all intents and purposes, Malik have been trying to pass the baton for the last 5 years. He tried to pass it to Hashim, and then he couldn't stay away. See, there's something behind the scenes going on that we're missing. He couldn't stay away. He comes back after the death of Hashim, and he throws himself back in the seat of power without even going through the process that puts you in the seat of leadership anyway. So there is no organization there because you didn't even follow the protocol of what it takes to be in the position right there. But he tried to pass the baton to Grandmaster Jay. Grandmaster Jay dropped the ball. All of these are frauds, mind you. In my book, Grandmaster Jay dropped the ball. That power, he have never seen that type of power. He was sent, in my book, he was sent. But he got overconfident. He started talking too reckless. He started playing himself. But he was passing that to Grandmaster Jay. And I know that for a fact because I remember in South Carolina when they was out there marching for the guy that shot up the church. Malik was right there with Grandmaster Jay before anybody knew Grandmaster Jay. I've asked Malik on the phone. I say, when did you meet Grandmaster Jay? He told me this when we was talking, and I knew he was a fraud. He told me that he met Grandmaster Jay in Atlanta somewhere. But he didn't know that I got a video of him and Grandmaster Jay standing next to each other at a podium before anybody knew who Grandmaster Jay was. Grandmaster Jay was getting his feet wet, calling himself Black Lives Matter, and he got caught up in that. Arrogance caught him. So it was supposed to go to Grandmaster Jay, and he was going to fall back. Grandmaster Jay played himself. Now it seemed to me that it's being passed to Nick Bezel. But all of this stuff is a distraction at the end of the day. And the reason why it's the distraction because we look at yesterday and we see how the cameras never benefited us. So why would people try to fight a revolution or oppression in front of a camera using the same tactics of yesterday, protesting, marching, and screaming? That's how you know it's a sham. It's the same exact thing. Protesting, marching, and screaming. There is no other. Tell me what else, what new is going on since the 60s? Just the gun and the black? There is nothing new. He goes up, Nick Bezel goes up to the door, knocks on it. You see that show I did? He knocks on the door. Oh, he not here. When you coming back? Every day. Like you don't diplomatically work through something acting as if you coming to rough something off. If you're going to be a diplomat, be a diplomat. If you're going to be a G, be a G. Don't fake it, though, because we see through it today. Go ahead, my brother.
Let me tell you something else you're a master of. You are a master of dialectical materialism. You are a master of dialectical materialism. I study your techniques because that just means that you know how to raise the antagonistic contradictions. Dialectical materialism teaches us that everything has a contradiction. I think Nkrumah put it this way. Nkrumah said a table appears to be solid, but even within a table, although it appears to be solid, the atoms and molecules are in a contradiction, bumping against each other and in conflict with each other. So, I mean, it takes that, Grand Sheik, because the idea behind dialectical materialism is you keep raising the contradictions, and you keep raising the contradictions, and you keep raising this contradiction, and eventually we get to where we need to be.
And I want you to flow right.
You're good at that, and that's needed.
But I want you to flow. But you know what? what gives the contradictions that I'm raising credibility is that there is no successes that we can measure, or there is no successes that we can measure or we can use to disprove what I'm saying.
Yeah,
there is
none. Idea. That's the whole idea of scientific socialism, specifically dialectical materialism. You can't defeat it because the truth is the truth, but it's the end game strategy. The end game strategy of dialectical materialism is not to destroy a system, but to make the system better.
There you go.
If you raise the antagonistic contradictions, the end game should be to make the situation better. And done properly, you know, that could be your role, Grand Sheik.
This is what I said. I said, if someone was like, it's a guy named Babu. And I've said many a times, I said, I believe that the brother Babu would be a great leader because he's not typically a camera chaser. Now, he does do live streams. He did some and talked about me half crazy, but I don't care about that. He's just sensitive. But, you know, he just got to work on that as a militant. I mean, militants should not be sensitive. They shouldn't be emotional. I mean, you can be emotional when you go home, but not in front of the camera. You know what I mean? You do that when you go home. But nevertheless, he shows a lot of the qualities that's needed as a leader. He recently retired, but he don't have to be on the front line. He could be the conductor. You know what I'm saying? He could be the conductor and get people in line. But the only problem that I see with a lot of our brothers, we give, and our sisters, we give one another a pass when they're not doing what they're supposed to do.
You know who put it?
We can't do that.
You know who put it the best, Grand Sheik? And if somebody's from the nation is watching, because I don't want to misquote what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. I think it might even be a message to the black man, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. But I remember a quote from the Honorable... One
second, brother. Brother, Truth and Power Corner. Hit the link, brother. Truth and Power Corner. Come on and hit the link, brother. I would love to hear your viewpoint on what is this response of this armed response that always end up in marching, always end up in yelling, always end up in just waiting for the next calamity to hit. So Truth and Power Corner. I think that's my brother, professor out of Morgan State here in Baltimore. Hopefully me and him can get a debate on soon. But I would love to hear his viewpoint on this and solutions. Come on, my brother, you got it. And then we'll bring in the primary leader.
Indeed.
Don't go nowhere, brother. The floor is yours. Let me. Yeah, Brother Prince Paul, Minister Paul, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, if I'm not mistaken, judge a man for what he does today because we all may become hypocrites overnight. I'm going to say it again. Judge a man by what he does today because we all may become hypocrites overnight. So I think if we use that for the foundation of how we deal with each other and keep that understanding, I'm judging you by not what you did yesterday. And I guess you just hit on that, Grand Sheik, but what you're doing today, because I know, you know, we all can become hypocrites overnight. But I appreciate your time, good brother, and thank you for the platform.
Now, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. And I hope that we could come in and have more intellectual conversations because I think the intellectual conversation and the stimulation is what we need more than anything. And that will cause the inspiration, you know, because a lot of people are scared to talk about these things. A lot of people think that, okay, it's boots on the ground. It's boots on the ground. But, okay, boots on the ground. But what's really going down? What's being accomplished? I mean, if we got 100 boots on the ground and all we did was took resources to show up and show out and take some pictures and hoop and holler, that's all the resources gone. Those resources could have been somewhere. Those resources could have been doing something very effective. But those resources are gone, never to be seen again. The intelligence behind that is missing. There is no intelligence behind that to me. Now, if you're going to go there and if you tell me, like I just said, brother, if you tell me, we're going to make sure that the people are safe. When you make sure the people are safe, don't be up there with the bullhorn now. Talking about Black Power, Black Power, Black Power. Because at that point, you're grandstanding and you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. But I thank you, Minister Paul. Minister Paul, send me an email, brother. Let's get some topics going, brother.
Indeed, brother. And always we leave the Black Messiah motto: stop waiting for a savior and be one. Shalom.
Shalom. That's what I like. So here we go. Oh my goodness, brother, where have you been? Rico! Oh! Rico! Oh! Rico. They say you was over there with OC the fake, and you almost dropped the ball on me, brother. What happened, brother?
I ain't almost dropped no ball, man. You know, I already sent you that type of what he said and told you what he said, man. I already sent that to you.
Hey, how do I refer to you? The president, the general? Wait. Because you took over New Black Panther Party.
Whatever you feel like that you want to